Most people think they have a money problem. They really do. They think if they just earned a little more, saved a little harder, or caught one lucky break, everything would finally just click into place. But here's the truth, and it's probably not what you've been taught. In study after study, psychologists and behavioral economists have found that your income is not your primary barrier to financial freedom. Your mindset is. Today, in this explainer, we're looking at the deep psychology of wealth, and we're going to start with a very grounded reality. We need to strip away the myths and look at what actually holds us back from building a future we control.
Okay, let's dive into this. Ask yourself right now, are you blocked by a lack of money or by a lack of identity? The painful truth is that most people are walking around with a deeply toxic money psychology, and they have absolutely no idea. If you feel vulnerable right now, if you feel like you aren't making investments yet, I want you to understand something right out of the gate. This is not a character flaw. It's a learned response. You aren't lazy, and you certainly aren't lacking intelligence. You are simply dealing with a brain that has been conditioned by your environment to block you from adopting the identity of an investor. And understanding that conditioning, that's the first step to breaking it. Let's break down exactly what that conditioning looks like in everyday life. There are basically three toxic money mindsets keeping ordinary people trapped. First up is compensatory consumption. This is when you spend money just to feel a quick 3 to 5 minute dopamine hit that temporarily numbs stress or boredom. It feels like self-care in the moment, but it's quietly destroying your financial future. Second is present bias. This is living entirely in the financial present, with absolutely no mental architecture for future wealth. If money comes in, it immediately goes out. And third is an external locus of control. That's the belief that your financial situation is entirely determined by luck, your background, or the system. By handing all your agency over to external forces, you completely miss the doors that are genuinely open to you. Now, your brain actually developed these blocks to survive environments where money was scarce. It's just trying to keep you safe. But it's actually keeping you trapped in a cycle where your money makes all the decisions without you.
But here is the good news. Learned responses can be unlearned, and it starts with the very words you use inside your own head. Think about it. When you tell yourself, "I can't afford that," you close the mental door permanently. The scarcity mindset simply shuts the brain off. Boom, done. But when you shift to a wealth mindset and ask, "How could I afford that?" Listen, this isn't some positive thinking nonsense. This is the literal science of neuroplasticity. Asking how forces your brain into problem-solving mode. Changing your internal questions actually changes your neural pathways. It shifts you from a state of total paralysis to a state of agency. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and start becoming the architect of your options.
Yet, even when we start asking those right questions, we often fall victim to something called the threshold illusion. This is that deeply human belief that we cannot begin something meaningful until conditions feel exactly right or until we have what we consider to be enough money. It's that quiet, persistent voice in your head telling you that you don't have the capital to be an investor yet. This illusion is incredibly dangerous. Why? Because it makes people wait for permission to start. It convinces you that investing is an exclusive club for people who already have money, and if you don't have wealth yet, well, you belong on the sidelines.
And this brilliantly illustrates why waiting on the sidelines is the single most expensive mistake you can make. Let's look at the math of time through two investors, Sarah and James. They both invest just $1,000, one single time, at a 10% average annual return. Sarah starts at age 25. She never touches it, and by age 65, she has over $45,000. James, he waits until he's 45 to invest his $1,000. By age 65, he has barely $6,700. The massive gap here isn't about Sarah working harder or having a higher salary. It is the exponential engine of compound interest. Time is the true multiplier, and time, once spent, cannot be bought back at any price. So why do we wait? Why do we delay when the math is just so glaringly obvious? Because of present bias. This is a cognitive bias where the brain is neurologically wired to value things happening right now far more than things happening in the future. In fact, Harvard researcher David Laibson found that your brain literally treats your future wealth as if it belongs to a completely different person, a stranger. Since your future self has no vote in today's decisions, your human brain really struggles to intuitively grasp exponential growth, and that psychological blind spot leads to delays that cost far more than we can even imagine.
The true devastating cost of waiting becomes obvious when you look at the cold, hard math. Say you start investing $300 a month at age 30, earning an 8% return.
you'll have over $400,000 by retirement. But if you wait just 5 years and start at age 35, you will have $270,000. Waiting just 5 short years cost you $130,000. I want you to sit with that for a second. Every single month you wait has a real tangible dollar cost attached to it. It's not just lost time, it is lost freedom.
And here is a hard truth we just have to face. The exact same force you aren't deploying yet is currently being used against you with ruthless efficiency. Compound interest works both ways. When you carry a credit card balance at 22% interest, that is the bank using exponential math against your wealth. Every month you don't pay off that balance, interest compounds on interest. Trust me, the banks understand this better than anyone. They are leveraging time against you. They're relying on your present bias to build their wealth, not yours.
But we can take that control back. It is so much simpler than you've been led to believe. To harness compounding, you just need 3 mechanics. First, start now, with whatever you have. Consistency always beats the initial amount. Always. Second, put your money in genuine growth. A savings account paying 0.5% is barely keeping up with inflation. You need low-cost index funds that track the broader market. And finally, leave it alone. The instinct to pull money out when the market dips is the exact instinct that destroys compounding. You simply have to be patient. You're planting an orchard here, not hitting a fast food drive-thru.
Now you might be thinking you don't have enough to do this yet, but the accessible modern reality is that Wall Street's old barriers are completely gone. Poof! Micro-investing platforms allow you to buy fractional shares of real companies for literally $1. You do not need to buy a full share of a massive tech company. You can buy a tiny fraction of one. You don't need a fortune to own a piece of the market yet. The tools to begin are already right there in the palm of your hand, waiting for you to simply make the decision to use them.
So, the crucial point is this. Starting small is not a compromise. Starting small is a strategy. In behavioral economics, there is a phenomenon called the commitment device effect. When you take a tiny, real action toward a goal, your brain registers it as identity. You are no longer someone who hopes to invest someday. You are an investor. The $1 isn't the point. Taking that small action rewires your brain to adopt the identity of someone who builds wealth. You are casting a very real vote for the person you want to become.
Which brings us to the most important number in this entire explainer. I want you to hear this with absolute clarity. $0. That is exactly how much money you need to start building your investor identity today. You do not need to wait until your bank account matches your ambitions. Your self-perception can be changed right now, entirely for free. The mental shift from a consumer to an investor costs literally nothing to begin. So here is your secret toolkit for investing from zero. First, invest in your financial knowledge. Spend time understanding how index funds actually work and what compounding really means. That knowledge compounds exactly like capital does. Next, open a free brokerage account and fund it with $0. Just take the physical step to cross that threshold. Then, start paper trading. This just means tracking real markets with fake money. You're building your mental muscles. You're training your decision-making instincts completely for free, so that you're fully ready the exact moment the money does arrive.
Think about this for a moment. Warren Buffett bought his first stock at 11 years old with a very small amount of borrowed money. While most 11-year-olds were trying to figure out how to buy more comic books, he was buying into the market. He didn't wait until conditions were perfect. He didn't wait until he had enough. No one who ever built massive wealth waited for the perfect moment. They just decided that beginning with something, even if it was almost nothing, was infinitely better than waiting for everything to perfectly align.
And that brings us to our final thought. Readiness is not a feeling. It is a decision. You are sitting at the exact same starting line as every wealthy person once stood at. The difference between people who build wealth and people who only dream about it is not the amount they started with. It is the decision to start. You don't have to wait until you feel ready or until you have a perfect income yet. You have full permission to decide that you are an investor today. The journey from zero starts the moment you make that decision. So, knowing what you know now, what exactly are you waiting for?